Hey guys, welcome back to another SciCraft Blitz server recap. So let's check out what happened on day 15. So the huge project is going on right now is of course making the perimeter. You can already see the world eater passing by, shaving off the next layer. So yesterday, I finished the last trench here on the side, lava was removed. And then we also managed to build up the complete world eater. It was roughly 8,000 blocks, took us a bit over 3 hours. So first I was actually working it alone, and later Calendar and Enemy joined in, and we really built this up in no time. So in total the world eater is 525 blocks wide, including the sweepers here at the bottom. And yeah, it's actually brilliant that I can now enjoy this with almost perfect FPS. Yesterday, at first, when I didn't have the Starlight client-side mod, this was just a slideshow. But now we have the client-side mods. This is really enjoyable to watch. Almost no issues. Okay, somebody just joined in. Of course, a lot of songs get loaded, the lags back there. But yeah, it's brilliant. So huge thanks to the modders for making this possible. Unfortunately, the vanilla game isn't really optimized enough, and it's almost unplayable to run a world like this. So we really need to look for mods in order to optimize all of this. Alright, so the world eater will shave off the world layer by layer. So we're currently at, let's actually check it out, Y74. It takes about roughly 7 minutes to do one layer. So 7 times 70, Guess by the end of the day this will be finished. So our job is now just to remove some obsidian that gets uncovered. Usually most amount of work is around Y10 where you have the huge lava pools down there. So at the moment it's enough every 20 minutes to fly over, maybe you spot an obsidian, remove it, but yeah, far it's been going great. Even playing the game with shaders and watching the world is no issue anymore. So this is really good. So I got 40, 60 FPS, which is definitely playable. Alright, yeah, this is really good. Actually, maybe fly through a trench. Also really looking good. Oh yeah. As I said yesterday, we also built a faster cobble farm, so we don't have to use the one at spawn anymore. So this one is actually not a lot more complicated than the one at spawn, it's just a little bit larger and produces 10 times as many items. So here we can see all the redstone is required. We just need a clock. Then here we need a counter to activate the TNT dispenser every third time. We add a bit of repeater delay to the simple setup that just pushes out stone. You can see we got a single lava source per lane here on top, and the water flows in before the lava can flow down from the side. Okay, just the right moment, as the stone generates, it's getting pushed out towards the middle, and every third time, TNT explodes. Okay, we didn't even use a TNT duper here, because, I mean, we can afford TNT now. We got the sand duper, which makes it possible, and of course, we get all the gunpowder from the raid farm. So, we can easily get enough TNT to run this farm a little bit more legit. Of course, it would still be nice if there would be also a good way to get sand without duping. We also have a good amount of cobblestone now. Let's check out the storage. So we got 1 double chest, 2, 3, and some here on top. So a bit over 300,000 cobblestone. This should last a while. Alright, time has come. Glotz is here, and he will guide us through our new main storage. It's been finished a couple days ago, and now we finally can show it off. Glotz has been really involved in the whole design process, and he's the most qualified to explain it all. Alright, Glotz, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so this was definitely a multiple people effort. A ton of people helped with it. I may mention a few names here and there, but there will be a full list of people involved in the description. Let's start with the main halls. So we do have 2 chest halls, one on this side and one on the other side, where we store basically almost every item type. We have 8 items per slice, 4 on each side. So we do sort it into different categories. So here in the beginning we have the redstone category, then we have corals next to it for like TNT dupers or some stuff, ores, blocks, and then building blocks. Basically we have different categories, and because you don't always have a perfect layout, I also have some slices in between that are empty, so that if we see like, okay, we would rather have an item somewhere closer to the beginning, we can still move stuff around. So yeah, we store almost every item in this chest hole except for a few, which we sort in a different type of storage. But here we have 2 double chests of storage for each item type. It's not getting loaded into boxes here. Here we just store loose items. Then we have the same on the other side for more building type blocks like concrete, glass, terracotta, wool, all the wood blocks, everything in its own category.
Did you actually count the number of items that we sort now?
Oh, I actually didn't count that because Leo set up basically just a script to take every item that's in the item list in Minecraft and just put it into boxes. So we basically made the script so that we had like an array of boxes. Then we started categorizing the boxes, and then I found an item layout. So it didn't actually count the amount of items, but there was probably a way to figure that out. I can maybe send a number later that can then be shown on screen.
I think it's like roughly 700 or 800 by now. We have to sort. Yeah.
I think it's actually more because
Even
there's
more?
like so many different variations of item types. But I can figure that out later.
Okay.
And then if the chests in the chest halls fill up, so if we get more of 2 double chests, well, and a few hoppers of each item type, then we also have bulk storage. For example, again for redstone components that we need a lot of. And here we store them into boxes. So here we have accessible box loaders, so that if we don't get as much yet, we can still access the boxes. Then those boxes get broken, and then we have 2 double chests of storage for boxes. And here you can also see we also have a box display. So if you empty that out, let's just take out the boxes of redstone, then a new box gets placed. So you always access of blocks here, as long as you have our shulker boxes left. So yeah, and here we have again storage for all of the items that we get more stuff from. Again, there's slices in the back, so if we notice, okay, we forgot about a block that we still get tons of, we can still edit some slices, sign them in the back. So yeah, that's the main part of the chest halls. We have a bit more here in the back. So in the beginning, from the input, which is over here, where you can input loose items, boxes, whatever, you can either put it into the chest. So if you want to excel the system a bit, you can put your loose items in the boxes and then break them. But there we already, in the unloading step, sort out unstackable items. And then we have an unstackable sorter here, which then again sorts those into boxes. Again,
Like
we
a
have acceptable box
potion,
loaders.
flint and steel. Shears?
Yeah.
I actually saw oh yeah, I can check if you can shear something, yeah.
Yep.
Boats, hoppers, yeah.
So this system is by CommandLeo, who also helped me with the chest holes together with Raffq.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we have a box for every other unstackable that we didn't get sorted.
Okay,
first.
so I was wondering about powder snow.
So yeah, powder snow. This is not the 1.17 compatible version. Leo is currently working on an upgrade because there's like one extra flaw, which is axolotls. So since we have a minecart system, which basically removes items from the minecarts. For example, if you have a chest minecart, it splits it up into the minecart and the chest then gets recycled into the system. But you can also have TNT minecarts. But the problem is, we first need to sort out buckets. And for water buckets, you basically just place them and put it back again. But if you get an axolotl, the axolotl doesn't get sucked back into the bucket. So the axolotl is free and can crawl around. And the next slice is the minecart. So what would happen, what could happen if you put an axolotl first and then a TNT minecart, is that the axolotl crawls on the rails and then the TNT minecart goes into the axolotl. So that would be quite fatal. There will be a fix for that, and that will get
Need an axolotl killer.
So something like that, or just like a trapped hall where then the axolotl wouldn't get out. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's working on that. So that's one flaw of the system, but it's not too likely that it happens because you need to have axolotl and then a TNT minecart.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
that's the
that's quite
unstackable.
rare.
Yeah. And then here you can see we have also
Rest.
multi-item storage.
Mhm.
Those 3 are not assigned yet, but those are for copper, waxed copper, and candles. Those 3 slices. But we also have like the amethyst blocks, corals, and rare types for where I just don't want to set like a 41 items just sitting in a filter somewhere. So like Heart of the Sea, cobwebs, sponges, like
Where's our
non-renewable.
ancient debris going right now?
Ancient debris is also going into the rares, but we don't
Okay.
have any. So yeah,
So
that's where
netherite blocks, netherite ingot, all in here.
yeah, all of that
Okay.
would go. Then on this side, before we go to a more exciting part as well, we have a brewer, which is currently not set up because we're missing nether wart. But this will brew a bunch of potions that we regularly use, like fire resistance, instant health, instant damage, or something like actually useful potions that could be useful at some point. So those will be brewed there. The system has been made by I think Firigion. But yeah, it's a nice system, nicely stylable. We just added it because we had the space on this wall. Then here we also have a small furnace array. I think 18,000 items per hour by Andrews. You have fuel input up top. Then you have the item input of what you want to smelt, and then you get the output. Pretty straightforward.
All right. Some indicator lamps.
Yeah,
We have
if
fuel.
it have fuel, if it's currently inputting
Oh,
items, if it's smelting.
is it like? Oh, we're missing fuel actually on the other side.
On the other side, it looks like we ran out of fuel. So
Yeah,
we actually can input some stuff
we can
again.
make charcoal. Yeah.
But I think it actually also has a shut-off mechanism if it runs out of fuel. But I'm not too sure.
I quickly go in spectator and take a look behind so that we can actually see the furnaces.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's not using minecarts or anything because we wanted to have it a more reliable if it gets unloaded for some reason. There's no minecarts or something. Just dropper lines and just
Here they are.
hoppers underneath the dropper line getting unpowered, which then enable it to suck up items into the furnaces. It's a little bit complicated, but it just fit in nicely again. So yeah, that's the furnace array. Here we just have a bed. Nothing too fancy. But here we have one thing that's, for me at least, quite crucial, because I hate crafting items. But Masa has a great mod called Item Scroller, which everyone should check out, which enables you to set recipes. And so actually the main function is to quickly move around items between inventory, but it has a nice function called mass crafting, where you can set recipes for crafting operations and then craft those automatically. And based on this mechanic, I made the system where you can input shulker boxes. You see it's a 3x3 grid resembling the crafting table. And you put in shulker boxes with the recipe items. So for now, I set up for repeaters. So we have 3 slots dedicated to stone. We're just making 1 shulker box now. So we just have 1 shulker box of each recipe. Then we have torches, redstone dust, and torches again. So that's how you would set it up. You basically just take the crafting recipe and put it into boxes, into the chests. Quickly unload my inventory because I have a bit of junk on me. And then you just set your recipe and hit this notebook. And then you just start crafting. This will take like, I don't remember, like a minute or something, because each slot gets unloaded at 16 times hopper speed. And yeah, now I'm just crafting, immediately throwing out the items out of the inventory. It goes into a water stream, and we have mixed box loaders in the back, which are based on a global clock, which is being run basically if the player is currently crafting stuff and if there's still items in the hoppers. So yeah, I'll just finish this crafting operation, then we can see the rest of the system, how it works.
Yeah, I'm flying around the spectator right now. Yeah, here's getting filled.
And that's already it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
now I don't get any more recipe items. Now we just need to wait for the box loaders in the back to finish. As you can see, there are still comparators on here, so it's currently still filling boxes in the slice.
I just checked earlier. It has to completely drain the hopper. That's probably gonna take 2 minutes.
Yeah, it will take a little bit.
Mhm.
So, yeah, after this is done, all the boxes from all slices will get broken, and then we sort out boxes. So completely filled boxes will directly go into those chests here. So it will start on this side.
Mhm.
And partially filled boxes will get sent over here, so that the player can recombine it. We don't do that automatically because that just takes, again,
Takes
more
forever.
time.
No.
So this is just a faster way. So this will just
Mhm.
take a little bit because it's still draining out. And empty boxes will just get recycled into the system again to the box loaders. So yeah, now we just need to wait for it a
Okay.
bit for it to finish. And we should, yep, here we got 2 boxes now.
Mhm.
So I just take out the items, box gets broken, take out the other items, put it into this box. When it's filled, it also gets broken, and then it's being sent over there. And that's how we got. Now it's just 1 box of repeaters for now, but you could make up to 54 boxes of repeaters by just completely filling those double
Mhm.
chests in those
Yeah,
slots, and
it's
then you can just,
mostly worth it if you make multiple Shulker boxes, I'd
yeah,
say.
exactly.
If you're in a hurry, then
Yeah,
probably best to make 1 Shulker box yourself, but it's really worth it once you need to make 10 or 20.
yeah, yeah. Once you scale it up, it's really useful, especially because there's like a different version of Item Scroller by Andrews where you actually have a toggle, so you
Mhm.
can toggle the mass crafting, so you don't need to hold anything. So you can literally just go take a shower or something while you craft multiple boxes of pistons or something. So that's very useful. So yeah, that's the Item Scroller crafting system. Oh, I actually forgot one thing. So yeah, if not everything makes it through the multi-item storage, so basically items that we don't have assigned yet, they would get over here into the overflow. So currently there's like
That's
2
where my ancient
items.
debris went. I wasn't assigned
Yeah,
yet.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because we didn't have 2
Mhm.
ancient debris yet to set the filter for
Oh,
the
okay.
pattern. And also like renamed nuggets or renamed items will get into here. Oh yeah, and we also have box displays for items that we very quickly just need to take out, like pearls, food, totems, ender chests, rockets, stuff like that.
Yeah. No duration 2 rockets though. Methods was
Yeah,
already complaining.
yeah. I did ask in the chat which
Mhm.
were being used more frequently, and everyone was like either 1 or 3.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah, next time.
next time. And on this side we have empty box storage if you just need
Mhm.
to grab a few boxes. I think that's the main part of that done. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the actually main thing that really accelerates the storage, which is the unloading array. So normally, because all of those filters that are set for the different items run at 9,000 items per hour, because it's just hopper speed. So when unloading items, you need to make sure that every item type is just being unloaded at 1 times hopper speed. Now, you could do something very simple where you just unload 1 box at a time, and that's a valid way to do it, but it takes forever. And on Blitz, we do things fast. So we're using a system developed by Boyenn and a bunch of other people who help with that, which is down below. So let's go there using this small drop that Sky made. And it's this huge thing underneath here. So what do we have here? Basically, if we want to boil it down simply, it's multiple unloaders. And those unloaders themselves are relatively stupid. They just unload, they take the first item out of a box, what they can, and this item gets set as a filter. And then it starts unloading this item type. Now, the unloader itself doesn't do anything else other than lock itself to not accept more boxes. But there might be a problem. If you get 1 box that gets assigned to this unloader, and then you get another box of the same item type, you unload at 2 times the speed that the storage could handle. So you need to ensure that you only unload 1 item type at a time. And that's why we have a small system in the back here, which is a bit difficult to get to, where we keep track of which item is currently being unloaded. And that's in the back here. I should actually put in some boxes and just let the system run, and then we can observe what's happening.
All right.
So basically, in the beginning, we do a bunch of checks on boxes. First off, we check, is the box completely empty? Because then we don't need to unload it. And then we do a check, does it have at least 2 items? Why we need 2 items, you will see in a minute. Let me just grab just a few random boxes and just drop them in. Okay, I'll just drop in a bunch of concrete and a random box that I had. So, yeah, the check system we do earlier, if it has 2 items, is needed because right here at this chest, we keep 1 of each item that is currently assigned to an unloader. So what we do is, we place a box, so we should see some boxes coming in just a second. We take out 1 item of the first item type, and we set it as a filter in this hopper right here. And then it checks, whoops, fell down. Then it checks, do I already have in the chest 1 of that item type? If it does, then it knows this item is already getting unloaded. And if it doesn't, it takes that item that it took out of the box and puts it into the chest. So if the next box would come in, there we go. If the filter from the box is being made, then it could suck out 1 of that item type, and you are able to detect that. And then you would know, okay, this box is currently already being unloaded, and then that box gets skipped for now. So here in this set, we now see, okay, we got a bunch of different concrete types that are currently being unloaded and some redstone components. And if you look underneath, there are multiple boxes now set in the unloader array. Right, again, I can't jump today. But right here, you see just multiple boxes, which each just unload 1 item type. And then we batch them underneath and then send them off to storage. So that's the whole clue with how we can make sure that we only unload 1 item type, is that we keep 1 of that item type and do checks against that 1 item type. And yeah, that's a relatively simple system because the idea of parallel item unloading is not new. That has been done already, but the way it was done before is that you would split boxes. So you would take 1 box, which would have multiple item types, and you would split it into basically boxes with just that 1 item type. So you would basically, on the worst day, split 1 box into 27. And that's a huge deal because you would just run out of boxes like very quickly. So that's why with this system, we didn't want to have to use more boxes than we input. So we only process boxes once. So that's the idea behind the system. That allows us to have, technically you could extend this unloader array even further to up to 54 unloaders. So you would unload at best at 54 times hopper speed, which is crazy compared to just 9,000 items per hour.
Mm-hmm. It's not even that unrealistic that you get 50 different item types if you just, from a big project, bring everything over again, and then it's gonna be sorted in no time.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, if you just have like 54 boxes of 1 item type, then this doesn't accelerate anything, but that's very unlikely that you just get 1 item type.
Yeah, I usually have a couple of stacks.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what this system does in a nutshell. There's a ton of small things that need to be checked to have everything work, and some interesting mechanics to ensure that everything is reliable. And there's some more modifications that will be done in the future because we noticed some stuff that we could optimize. But yeah, this is basically the first version of the system that has been made. So yeah, it's not perfect yet, but it already has proven itself in terms of its usability.
Yeah, it works pretty well so far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, one crucial part about storage is right above, which I almost forgot about. We have a chunk
Oh
loading
yeah,
system.
chunk loading, yeah.
Yeah, which is very important.
That was something I actually don't know yet. Which systems actually turn this on? Does the furnace array turn it on? Does the brewing system turn it on?
The furnace array and brewing system do not turn it on. I was thinking about adding that, but yeah, so far people have said no, not needed, because
Ah, that's definitely needed. In case we ever build one on SciCraft, the main server, definitely want that.
yeah, probably.
Kind of frozen.
Hmm?
Oh, there we go. X spike.
Oh, X-Spike. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, what the fuck was that? Was that was quite a leg spike. But yeah, that's basically everything there's to storage. Oh yeah, where the storage has been built, I don't know if people have noticed yet.
Oh yeah.
We with that drop chute, we can drop right into the end. So this is built right above the concrete and sand Jorvp and factory array. So you can just
Yeah.
hit this node block and then just drop into the end.
There goes.
Okay, then I added a
Okay.
color spiral to it as well. But yeah, that's basically main storage.
Okay. Thanks for showing us around, Glotz.
Yep.
Alright, so this is the main storage at the SciCraft Blitz server. Not bad for a server that just started 2 weeks ago. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks guys for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.